We have another story from India. It has dominated the national discourse today. If you live on the internet, it's hard to miss it. If you get your news on the internet, you should not miss it. This story features an American millionaire, a web of non-profits and shell companies, and the government of China. Together, they make a dangerous cocktail, an unparalleled campaign of influence, a vehicle to carry Chinese propaganda and brainwash people into buying Beijing's line. This is what the story is all about. It was first published by the New York Times. The protagonist is this man, Neville Roy Singham. He created an IT company called ThoughtWorks. He's also been linked to several charities and non-profits. Almost all of them are based in the US, but they influence events and ideas far beyond American shores. Apparently, they've been pushing Chinese propaganda in countries like India, Brazil, and South Africa, among others. And despite orchestrating such a big network, his name does not appear anywhere. In public filings, he is not listed as an owner, not even as a board member. Yet he controls all of them. How many organizations are we talking about? The report does not give a number. It says the network is large in scale and well-funded. They have access to at least $275 million in donations. And how is this cash mobilized? Through 4 non-profits. The money is funneled through these 4 entities. They have almost no real presence. They have no offices or staff. In fact, they list UPS mailboxes as their address. These 4 entities are used to deposit the money, and from here it goes to different organizations and groups, all with a common goal: to further Beijing's talking points, to influence minds and win friends. The report says this network has been running for years. And what has it achieved? Meetings with US congressional aides, training politicians in Africa, backing election candidates in South Africa, and organizing protests in cities like London. They've been able to do all of this, but none of it matches what they've done with news. This money also went to news organizations of all descriptions, YouTube channels in the US, a publication in Brazil, and a news website in India, and many more outlets across the world. They all got this money. What for? For amplifying China's position. It is a sinister network, and not the first or only of its type. China is known to do stuff like this, to run influence campaigns the world over. There are 2 parts to their operations. Part 1, where they deploy traditional tactics like public diplomacy and media, and Part 2, which involves covert operations. All of it meant to further the cause of the Communist Party. In fact, Chinese mouthpieces have a global presence now. They're available in as many as 29 countries, and they openly amplify Xi Jinping's messages. They also use other means. Like in this case, in the United States, China deployed a marketing firm. Their job was to plant pro-China stories. Such stories were carried by at least 3 dozen news sites. They were amplified on internet platforms. Then we have Chinese bots. Their latest campaign targeted Latin America. There was a network of social media accounts boosting Chinese propaganda. They pushed a wide range of stories, from China's successes in space to their superiority in 5G technology. They talked about all of it. And the most coercive trick in China's toolbox is their police stations, overseas police stations. We've told you about them. They're all over the world. More than 100 such stations have been found in 53 countries. What do? They handle Beijing's dirty business, like spying, like putting pressure on Chinese expats and dissenters, even forcing them to return to China. So this latest revelation about a network of non-profits paying news media to publish pro-China stories fits right into their playbook. The man at the center of it, Neville Roy Singham, has denied all these charges, of course. He says he does not work for the Chinese government or the Communist Party of China. He claims, and I'm quoting, "I am guided by my beliefs." And what are his beliefs? Those who know Singham say that he is an admirer of Maoism. Maoism is the ideology of the Communist Party of China. It comes from Mao Zedong. In 2017, this man, Singham, sold his company, ThoughtWorks, and pumped his wealth into the NGOs we just spoke about. Was he just promoting his ideology, or was he acting on behalf of the Communist Party of China? These questions are now being debated the world over, including here in India. This report has triggered a political war in New Delhi. Parties on both sides are hurling accusations, and in the run-up to a major election, this battle will only intensify.